Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News, December 20th, 2017, 4:35 a.m. here on the East Coast of the United States. This is Scott from Planet X News. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, I wanted to bring to your attention something that is very, very important to our investigation and our research into Planet X. And the title of this live stream, The Corruption of Science in America, the Puppet Masters. And ladies and gentlemen, this corruption of science is not only in America, it is worldwide. Over the course of the last year and a half, Dr. Albers, my partner in the Planet X research and investigation, has been criticized many, many times because of all of the articles that she writes, and her research has not been peer-reviewed. And Dr. Albers has gone over this peer review process and the corruption. She's gone over this many, many times. And the length of time that it takes to have your abstracts or your articles or your research so-called peer-reviewed. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very touchy subject. And if you just hang in there with me for 1 second, I want to go ahead and I want to share this live stream on the Planet X News Facebook page, so more people know that we are live streaming right now. So just give me a second here, and we're going to get into some of this information because it is pretty interesting. Just bear with me for one moment. You know, over the course of the last 2 months, Dr. Albers and I, we've been speaking with some other retired scientists, and they've been quite intrigued with her information. And what I'm going to bring up here first is the peer review process. So let me make sure all of you are seeing this. And ladies and gentlemen, this peer review process, this is something that has been held over Dr. Albers' head, because all of the articles that she has written pertaining to the sun, geoengineering, Planet X, whatever subject matter she decides to write upon. And as of today, she's written well over 100 articles since the end of June, since she has been in the United States. Before she came to the United States, she wrote, I believe it was close to 70 more articles. So she is closing in on, writing 200 articles in the year of 2017. The Planet X debunkers that are on YouTube, and there's only a few of them that basically want to put their nose in your business, and they want to scrutinize every little thing you do. But in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, academically, these people can't hold a candle to Dr. Albers. They cannot even stand in her footsteps because they are not educated in any sense of the mean. in these subjects. Like, for instance, this jerk-off Dazza the cameraman down in New Zealand. I mean, all this guy is basically a cyber stalker, and, he's a wannabe debunker, and he brings absolutely no credibility with his fancy little Kiwi accent to the science community. His cohort, Astronomy Live, Astro Boy, once again, this is the individual that cost Dr. Albers her 17-year career as a lecturer and professor at Wits University in South Africa by harassing and sending email after email after email to the chancellor and dean at the university, therefore getting Dr. Albers suspended from her job and her teaching career. And the reason why things like this occur, and we were basically tipped off, and we were trying to find major answers into this peer review process related to science. And ladies and gentlemen, just not Earth space science. Folks, this goes so far and so deep. The information that we've been discussing with several others, this goes all the way back to about 1973. And basically, it has developed over the years as, like the saying goes, if you want to play, you got to pay. Pay to play. The peer review process in science is so corrupt, you can almost label it a mafia. And I hate to give the mafia a bad name by lopping them into this group of criminals in science. And that's basically what they are. So the peer review process, and this is basically it right here. A group of scientists complete a study. They write it up in the form of an article. They submit it to a journal for publication. The journal's editors send the article to several other scientists who work in the same field, i.e., the peers of peer review. Those reviewers provide feedback on the article, and they tell the editor whether or not they think the study is of high enough quality to be published. The authors may then revise their article and then resubmit it for consideration. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this process for a scientist to have something published could possibly take up to a year or more. Whether it be related to Earth space science or medicine or any other form of science, this mafia of journals is basically run by 6 corporations on this planet. They are the peer review mafia. Basically, organized crime against science. And what is it really all about, ladies and gentlemen? It is about the almighty dollar, money. Plain and simple. So, for instance, we take a look at cancer research. There have been so many accusations over the years that with our technology and our science, we should have whooped cancer in the butt a long time ago. But because of pharmaceutical companies, Big Brother, and money, it has all been pushed to the wayside. Just recently, another holistic doctor, well, actually, two of them, a husband and wife, found dead, murdered. And then just, I think, not even a week ago, another doctor, deep into making leaps and bounds in cancer research, found dead in his home. All three deaths, unexplainable. Why? Because these people were on the forefront of their medical research. Their medical research would have turned the pharmaceutical industry upside down. So folks, we have a really, really big problem. We have a worldwide problem. If you just go to Google and you type in the corruption of science in America, you will see article after article after article after article about the corruption in science. And again, this does not necessarily mean Earth-space science. This covers all sciences. And this is legitimately hurting people with beautiful minds in science around the world. It doesn't matter what color their skin is, what religion they worship, what country they come from. The willing to pay to play is the main topic. And Dr. Albers knew all about this. And early on in our contact with each other, we had discussed this specific situation with peer review. The trolling operations within the Planet X community on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, they started throwing this terminology out there. Oh, well, Dr. Albers has never submitted any paperwork for peer review. However, these thugs fail to remember that just before Dr. Albers was set to come to the United States permanently, she had submitted 2 articles to the physics community in South Africa. Both of these articles were in relation to the Solar Dynamics Observatory and the Sun, our star. The convention was set to begin, and it was over the 4th of July weekend, this year, 2017. Dr. Albers was invited to the physics convention, and not only was she invited to speak pertaining to one of her articles, but they actually chose both of the articles that she submitted. And that's kind of rare from what we're finding out. That she was set to speak publicly at this physics convention, which is a really big deal. And she was set to speak in front of her peers based on the abstracts and the articles and the information that she submitted to the physics community. But because of the timing, when she was set to come to the United States. She was going to be leaving June 29th, and the physics convention was set to begin. I believe it was on July 2nd or July 3rd, and it was, several days, and she wasn't going to be able to make it. There were also some concerns with her personal security at the time, and it was recommended that she just did not take the chance, that she, gets herself out of South Africa as soon as possible and here to the United States, where her safety could pretty much be guaranteed. So for people that like, for instance, this Dazza the cameraman and Mr. Astro Boy Astronomy Live, when they want to criticize our research and our investigations into Planet X and what is happening to our sun and what is happening to our Earth, when they criticize a professional like Dr. Albers because her papers are not peer-reviewed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very, very smart lady with an outstanding academic career. She could submit 200 articles and abstracts for peer review. But what is the sense when the peer review process is corrupt? I hope I'm making my point very, very clear. Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much out there that governments around the world do not want you to know. There's so much out there that science organizations don't want you to know. They basically want to keep you in the dark. And they've done a pretty damn good job over the years. An article that came out back in September: Publish or Perish, Peer Review and the Corruption of Science. Folks, once again, I'm not sitting here making all of this up. This is something that has been making its way through the media, online, through articles, and people that are now starting to step up and discuss the peer review process. Pay to play. And that's basically it. And this article here is, absolutely fantastic. And this goes into the realm of, medicine, all the way through science. And you can find this article very, very quickly. Now, I'm going to jump over here real quick. Just bear with me. We're going to jump over here to the Planet X News website. And this morning, I published several articles pertaining to the corruption of science. I'd advise you all to take some time, educate yourselves, and read the information. It's devastating. it will definitely twist your mind to the left and to the right. But it goes into telling you about the key players in this peer review process. Names like the Bilderberg Group, right there. CEOs, bankers, media representatives, the global elite. And folks, listen, these are not just made up articles. I'm going to pan all the way down because this article here is backed up by people with educations. People themselves, scientists, people with doctorates, like this gentleman. He holds a PhD in politics, a master's degree in international studies. These people are academically qualified to speak on a number of subjects. I would advise all of you to take a few brief moments today and start reading these articles that I've published on the Planet X News website. The second article, The Corruption of Science in America. Again, this is available on the Planet X News website. It was just published this morning. And again, this starts talking about how corrupt this process is. But yet, individuals want to force the issue upon you as a researcher to have all of your material peer-reviewed. They want you to submit your paperwork, your findings, your investigation into a corrupt system. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's be realistic here. That doesn't make any sense if you are truly out for the truth. And this goes back further than its inception around 1973. This can go far, far back, all the way, and we can reference Nikola Tesla. Tesla was a brilliant man. Brilliant man. So was Thomas Edison. Nikola Tesla's AC current compared to Edison's DC current became a very big deal in that time period here in the United States. But Nikola Tesla was basically just stomped into the ground by big money. J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan, an industrial tycoon, was financially sponsoring and backing Thomas Edison. Nikola Tesla had no huge banker friends like Thomas Edison. So therefore, J.P. Morgan put all of his money, actually his daddy's money, J.P. Morgan Sr., They put all of their money and they backed Thomas Edison and they stomped Nikola Tesla into the ground. And they backed DC current, direct current, opposed to alternating current, AC, which was Nikola Tesla's baby. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do we use today? We use alternating current, AC. We use Nikola Tesla's research. We use his science. Only after he was dead and gone. So, folks, the corruption goes very, very, very far back. There are factions of people out there in this world, on this planet, that do not want you listening to anything that Dr. Albers says. They don't want you to listen to what I say. And they don't want you to listen to what a lot of other researchers are saying. Whether it has to do with Planet X and what is happening within our inner solar system, whether it has to do with medicine, earth space science, if it doesn't jive with their corporate corruption, they don't want you to know about it. I mean, that's how plain and simple it is. These are incredible articles that have been written. And again, they're all available on the Planet X News website. I'm going to get into one more here. And this one's bad. I mean, this one's bad. Peer-reviewed science losing credibility due to fraudulent research. Now, folks, the fraudulent research that they're referring to is the fraudulent research that involves the people that are willing to pay to play. See, we're not willing to pay to play because we don't have to. We have the evidence, we have shown the evidence, and we will continue to show the evidence. But this is an outstanding article, and it is a long article, and it throws a lot of people and corporations under the bus. Not only does it throw them under the bus, it backs up over them again. In this article, and again, you can go through this article. It is very lengthy. It talks about everything related to this subject matter. And there you go, folks. There's your microscope. There's a scientist with his little test tube bottle with the dollar signs in it. And there it is. The almighty $100 bill. Goes on, just ripping this pay to play, the corruption in science, and what they don't want you to know. There was another article here. Oops, I think I skipped over it. Let me back up. Let me pan down here real quick. I think I might have skipped over this when I was talking about it before. I got the wrong article. Bear with me for a second here. think I'm losing track of my own stuff here. I don't think I finished the article yet. So they're referring to these people in this peer review mafia as the puppet masters. Now, they basically control everything worldwide. And they've been doing it for a very, very long time. This boils down to everything that we talk about. It even goes into the sun, NASA, and many, many others. On the cover of Time magazine, is America flunking science? Probably. It talks about our magnetic field, our magnetosphere. These are all topics that are related to our research. The author of this article, and I have published this on the Planet X News website. Here's all the information about the author. Everything about his background, right here. Here are all of his references, right there. So we are not just, looking at articles written by some news reporter. These are actual articles going against the peer review process and unveiling the massive corruption. And these are people that are educated just like Dr. Albers. This man has a bachelor's in physics, a PhD in nuclear chemistry from Texas A&M. I mean, look at his academic career. It's all right here. See, these are not YouTube debunkers like Dazza the cameraman and Astronomy Live and some of these other people that are basically just nothing more than complete nonsense on YouTube. We make a video, they make a video lying to you. So ladies and gentlemen, just because somebody has a cute, fancy accent and they talk a good game, they use big words, mathematics that you don't understand, nor can you verify yourself. But yet you may fall prey to what they are saying because it sounds good. Folks, it's kind of like the smoke and mirrors. They really show you one thing, but yet lurking out there is something totally different. Are they being paid? There's a high possibility. Do we care? Absolutely not. But my focus today in this live stream is to let each and every one of you know that this corruption of science and the peer review process, it is so corrupt and it is so deep. We'll never be able to do anything about this, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do anything about this. But what we can do is we can continue to support each other. We can continue to support the research, all of the investigations into what's happening to our planet, if you care. If you don't care what is happening to our planet, then don't watch the videos, don't follow the Facebook pages, and just go on your merry way. Watch CNN News. But ladies and gentlemen, if you do truly care what is happening to your planet, and you do really care about being lied to by mainstream science, being lied to by your government, being lied to by the pharmaceutical industries worldwide, and the medical societies around the world, paying to play. That's what they're doing. It's pretty disgusting, if you ask me. So what do these debunker people think that they are really going to do? Do they think that they have some golden ticket that's going to save their lives and their families' lives during a massive, cataclysmic event, whether it be a tsunami, a volcano, an earthquake, a pole shift? Do they think they know something more or better than we do? Or have they themselves been sold a bill of goods for money? I mean, let's take a look at one of these debunkers. Let's take a look at Astronomy Live. This guy is, he actually was notorious as far as debunking anything that had to do with Planet X, what was happening with our sun, blah, blah, blah. He claims to be an amateur astronomer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I myself do not respect his opinions as an amateur astronomer. Now, he works for a facility that does research on Alzheimer's disease. All backed by a philanthropist who is directly involved with Big Pharma, the big pharmaceutical companies. My grandfather died of Alzheimer's, so I take direct offense to this. More investigations into this individual, Astronomy Live. Well, his job focus is nothing more than a lab assistant. Did you hear me? He is a lab assistant. His title doesn't hold anything related to Earth, space, science. Mr. Dazza the cameraman, the ultimate Planet X debunker, holds no degrees academically in any subject matter. He himself, on his own live streams just recently, admitted that some points in his life he suffered from paranoid delusions, depression, and, basically his doctors or whomever he was seeing for his problem medicated the hell out of him. So how are we to believe this man and anything that he says when he himself has stated that he suffered from paranoid delusions? The video is up on his YouTube channel. He was doing a live stream interview with Chris Potter. He admitted it. And this is also a man that does not work, that does not have a job or a career, and supposedly lives off of the government in New Zealand. So, ladies and gentlemen, my point is, where is their credibility? Where does their academics lie? It lies in the gutter, folks. Whereas Dr. Albers is a skilled physicist with a huge academic background and a career of over 17 years of lecturing, teaching as a professor of physics. And individuals out there will state that she doesn't have the right to speak on matters of astronomy or astrophysics. But see, ladies and gentlemen, they don't know anything about her course of study over all of those years in her academic career. Dr. Albers first wanted to be an astronomer. At the age of 9, she was already gifted, and her parents can clearly see that she was a gifted child. This was a 9-year-old girl that didn't want to play with baby dolls, that wanted a book on the stars. By the age of 12, she asked for certain items from her parents. The items that she wanted was to build her own telescope so she can view the stars. And at the age of 12, Dr. Albers literally built her own makeshift telescope that worked perfectly fine. So Dr. Albers has had a fascination with astronomy since the age of 9, building her own telescope at the age of 12. Dr. Albers had studied astronomy. Dr. Albers has studied astrophysics. I truly believe that based on her academic career, that she is more than qualified to speak on any of the subject matters that we cover. Her education is clearly documented. The other debunkers that spew their hatred on YouTube and go against us, they're undocumented. 100%. Dr. Albers did want to become a professional astronomer. However, because she was living in South Africa, originally, from Portugal, but her parents settled later on when she was very young in a colony, a Portuguese colony in South Africa. Or Mozambique, actually. Whenever she was set to enter college, Unfortunately, they did not have an astronomy course. So therefore, she entered into physics. And she excelled to the top of her class at every single stage of her academic career. Can these others stand up and make the same statement? No, they cannot. None of these individuals, ladies and gentlemen, have a formal education in these sciences. So therefore, I do not and will not ever respect anything they say. They can continue making their ridiculous videos in order to turn your thought process over to believing that there's not a damn thing wrong in our skies, that nothing is happening in our solar system, that the Earth that we live on is not in danger. You know, this idiot, Daz the cameraman, goes on there and talks about chemtrailing. Chemtrailing doesn't exist. Oh, they're nothing but contrails, water vapor coming from an airplane. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, each and every day around the world, we see the chemtrailing. Everybody is noticing it. It's become a part of daily life, looking into our skies. The proof is out there. I want to share some recent photographs. Let me just go ahead and find them here and pull them up. This photograph here, I took the other day. I posted this photograph on the Planet X News Facebook page, which all of you should be following. The link is in the description box under this live stream. Sarcastically, I noted, nothing to see here but normal sky. And that's correct, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what our normal skies have become. This has become the norm. I took this photograph a few days ago. Blew me away. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, do any of you see anything normal in this photograph? This photograph was taken at 3:30 p.m. looking exactly due west. Very, very weird cloud formations. You could already see the rainbow effect from the chemtrailing and the substances in the chemtrails. You could see the sun, well, what possibly may be the sun, reflecting in this rainbow color into the clouds. I went to another location quickly to get more photographs of what I was seeing. I've never seen, when I was a kid or a young adult, I never saw cloud patterns like this. But see, folks, here's the deal. Now that we are and have been seeing these weird cloud patterns around the world, scientists, climatologists, meteorologists pay to play. So therefore, they come up with names of these cloud patterns. And they introduce the names of these cloud patterns into science. So therefore, whenever you see a photograph like this and you say, wow, look at that, the scientists already have it covered. See, because they've already named these patterns. And they've stuck those names into science. So therefore, they're able to give you a scientific explanation. But their scientific explanation is fake. I hope I'm getting my point across. So if you look very closely in this photograph, I captured the beginning of a chemtrail straight through there. Cloud patterns like this that cover the sun that are deep, dark, and black. They're always there during sundown, and they don't move. While the other upper atmosphere, thin haze of chemtrail seems to move along, these darker clouds, they go nowhere. They stay right in front of the sun, blocking it out. And again, I took these photographs a couple of days ago. I'm always watching the sky, ladies and gentlemen. It's become part of my life. I started investigating chemtrails heavily back in 2005. I know all about them. Science wants us to believe that this is normal and there's nothing to see. Nothing to see here. But let's take a little closer, deeper look at what's going on here. This picture was taken an hour later. The first photographs were taken at 3:30 p.m. This photograph was taken at 4:30 p.m. from a different location, 1 hour later. Remember those deep, dark clouds I told you about? So in 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen, that canopy, that thick, dark canopy of clouds covering what we believe to be the sun, it just stays right there. It doesn't move. So, is science wanting me to believe that there is no upper wind or airflow up here that is just not moving these clouds? Folks, there is probably so much that we don't know about geoengineering, and we may never know. But let's just take a closer look at this photograph, and let's look at some of the abnormalities. These supposed clouds are so thin, but yet this strong radiance of the sun doesn't burn through them. It simply reflects off of them due to the high levels of aluminum in these chemtrails that have dissipated and set a huge canopy throughout the sky. You can start to see the rainbow effect leading all through here. Look at this very sharp line. Comes to a complete point. You know, folks, everybody's able to form their own opinions on what they're seeing and what they're seeing now and what they see with their own eyes. You could come to the conclusion, is it real? Is it natural? Is it man-made? What are they doing? This photograph here was taken 15 minutes later. 15 minutes later, 4:45 p.m. The same thick clouds that are so dark and black, they haven't moved. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, almost 2 hours. An hour and 45 minutes have gone by, and those clouds have not moved at all. The same little point in this cloud structure right here. An hour later, it's still there. How is that even possible? How is it even possible? Will we ever know? Like I said, I doubt it. But I'll tell you this much, folks. We need to keep pointing those 10-cent camera phones that they claim that, that's what we use. We need to keep pointing those cameras to the skies. It doesn't matter if you don't capture something in your photographs, because, see, ladies and gentlemen, you don't really know what you might capture in those photographs. We talk a lot about this sun simulator. Anybody who mentions this sun simulator or this solar simulator comes under immediate fire from the debunkers and the criticizers and the naysayers and the haters. But yet there is a lot of credible information out there dealing with this so-called sun simulator. Just recently, Mr. MBB333 came out with a video. A gentleman had sent him in some photographs from South Dakota. He was taking a photograph of a monument, a mountain monument in South Dakota, and up there in the sky, in one of his photographs, came this object. So, how is, let me back up here. How is that object right there? What the hell is that? Richie from Boston, if any of you watch his website. He's constantly talking about this subject matter. Dane Wigington. Many people, folks, worldwide. But this photograph, this blew the doors off of everything here. Let's get into the series of these photographs that were taken. Did this thing just appear in the sky? Is it a UFO? No, it's not a UFO. This object, this device, the patent is already out there. The patent to this solar simulator or this sun simulator device has already been divulged for years now. We just never had the opportunity to have someone like this man in South Dakota on vacation photographing a monument, a mountain-type monument in South Dakota. He takes a few pictures and then later on discovers, what in the hell is that? Zooms into it, has some knowledge of, what's been publicized about this sun simulator, sends the photographs into Mr. MB. He investigates it, and then it goes viral. Just take a look at it. What do you think? That's some kind of cloud anomaly? What do you think? That's some kind of reflection? Oh, and here's the best. What do you think? It's some kind of a lens flare? Yeah, I don't think so. I sent the photographs off to a friend of mine to have the photographs analyzed, scrutinized. And he came back and he said, wow, that is just absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible that the photograph was captured. This is the original photograph of the monument in South Dakota that this gentleman was taking a photograph of. Never noticed what was up here till later on when he was reviewing his photographs. So folks, that's why I say keep those cameras going. Keep them going. Because you never know what you're going to capture. And you and me, the common people, we may photograph something that breaks this thing wide open. People don't want to believe it because they don't understand it. But whenever you begin to understand it and you begin to investigate and research and dig and dig and dig, your understanding now becomes knowledge. And I've been made fun of before because I say that knowledge is power. But folks, it's a fact. The more you know, the more powerful your mind becomes. And the dumbing down of the world population is what they want. They don't want you to have the knowledge or the power. Does that make sense? They want you to keep your face stuck in your cell phone playing Pokemon Go. They want you looking at the ground, not the sky. Our skies used to be beautiful. Now, they're full of chemtrails, and they are full of vibrant colors. But ladies and gentlemen, the vibrant colors are not natural. So let's take a little quick zoom in. That's as far as I could zoom in on that. So when you're looking at that, what do you think that is? Do you think that's a UFO full of little green aliens? Or does that look exactly like the solar reflector on the patented sun simulator that has made its way around the internet in my videos and many other people's videos? Are you finally going to come to the conclusion that yes, there is something going on in the skies above our heads? Will you please just sit down today and truly think about the evidence that is out there? Don't just spout off at the mouth and say it's fake. Prove it. I had one ridiculous troll over there in the UK who is pretty much nothing but an unemployed drunk living in public housing. Thinks he's a notorious scientific troll. He claims that he can prove that this is a doctored image. He tried to do a video on it claiming that it was a doctored image, and he failed miserably. Now, when I sent these photographs out to have them basically digitized and depixelized, I wanted them cleared up. My buddy Shannon does a fantastic job. Shannon, once again, thank you very much for clearing these photographs up even more. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that is about as much detail as you are going to see. This object even casts somewhat of a reflection of its own. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever they're using this aluminum chaff in the chemtrail composition, aluminum's reflective. It's metallic. It's a metal. If you have enough of it out there and you shine light on it, well then, you're going to see these rainbow type colors. It's almost like pouring a little bit of oil on the ground and adding a little water to it and letting the sunlight hit it. And you see that little rainbow effect in the oil. We've all seen that. He also cleared up this photograph here for me. And that's about as clear as you're going to get. The object actually has the same internal midsection in the center as the patented sun simulator blueprints that we've divulged many times. Other YouTube channels have talked about it. They've shown the blueprints. Richie from Boston and his YouTube channel, he gets into it every now and then. He shows it. He gives links to the blueprints. Myself and Dr. Albers have gone over them many, many times. But this photograph here, folks, this was the ball-breaking photograph right here. So once again, mainstream science wants you to believe that there's no chemtrailing, there's no sun simulator, there's no Planet X, and there's nothing wrong with the sun. There's no other objects out there. It's impossible, they say. How is it impossible? How is it impossible? We see photographs. I took this photograph a few days ago. Just, looking at the sun, taking some photographs. The sun is no longer, it's light orangish yellow color. It's white. Why would it be white? Why would the sun produce rainbow colors? Looks like a big flashlight to me. Doesn't look real. Just looks like a big spotlight. I publicized some of these photographs yesterday. I took several photographs. And, I mean, it was 53 degrees here in Pittsburgh yesterday. People, once again, mid-December, running around in shorts and t-shirts. Same as last year, same time frame. I took several photographs as I pointed my camera towards the sun, focused in. I could feel the heat burning my skin on my face in mid-December on the East Coast of the United States. It's winter time. And no, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a blue planet. So if you see anybody passing around, ooh, look at this blue planet, it's nothing but an artifact from the camera. But there is another photograph, a series of photographs that I want to show you. And a gentleman sent me these photographs in, and he was pretty shocked at what he photographed. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look. Boy, oh boy. Where are all of these lines coming from? How is that produced in the clouds? How in the hell is this supposed to look like a real sun? Our sun. Well, what produced those lines? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We know the professional, uneducated debunkers claim it's nothing more than a camera artifact. Okay. That's all you got. But yet, when the man took several photographs, different angles, wow, it seems to be there again. Oh, maybe his camera's messed up. Maybe there was dust on the lens. Like one idiotic debunker goes by the name of Robert Lockwood, who doesn't speak in his videos, and we think we know who this guy really is. It's a fake account. In some photographs that Dr. Albers discovered from the Japanese space satellite Hinode, we found some suspicious spheres near the sun. We publicized it in a video. Dr. Albers has written many articles on it. They claim, the debunkers with their high education, claim that it's grease on the lens of the camera. But yet the grease moves as the spacecraft moves. Space grease? Space grease. Who in the hell puts up a multi-million-dollar satellite spacecraft, high technology, and before they blast it off, they don't clean the lens? So now the spacecraft is stuck in outer space with grease on the lens. Furthermore, it came from the Japanese. And the Japanese are smart. One of the leading countries on this planet in technology. I mean, we're talking white glove, people. The Japanese don't mess around. They pride themselves in their academics. And I don't think that they're going to make a mistake by leaving grease specks on the lens of a multi-million-dollar spacecraft that's going to be sent out there to take high-definition photographs of the sun. I hope you get my point. Once again, a few minutes later, another photograph by the same gentleman. And yes, this is a slight lens flare. It's not a blue planet. Let's get in there even more. Whoa! Well, alrighty then. Boy, this guy's camera must really be messed up, folks. I mean, I think he should just smash this camera into the ground and go buy a new one. Or did this man capture something that he wasn't supposed to? And to the gentleman that sent these photographs in, I thank you very much, because you've helped add another piece to the puzzle. I've sent these photographs to a friend of mine who is a professional photographer. I've been, sending him photographs for 2 years now. He's got more than 25 years as a professional photographer with his own studio, fantastic equipment and technology. And he has no explanation. He has examined these photographs, and he has cleared these photographs up for me. You don't see any pixels, folks. You're not looking at a camera anomaly. What you're looking at is the sun simulator, the spotlight in the sky. Do we really know how it operates? Are there many of them? We don't really know all of that just yet. But people like Jeff P. on YouTube, Jeff's uncovered a tremendous amount of video and photographic evidence related to this sun simulator. What are they using it for? Why are they chemtrailing so heavily every single day? There's a lot of questions, folks, that they do not want us digging into. And just because you, and that's right, I'm talking to each and every one of you, because there are some of you that can't think outside of the box, and you are so dumbed down that you just can't even fathom something like this up there. You're doing yourself a huge injustice. Because after you're dead and gone, your children and possibly their children are going to be dealing with this. And you left them with this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is high time that we get up off of our asses and we start publicizing this more and more and more and more each and every day. One of the main reasons why that Planet X News Facebook page is there is for you to share everything that is posted there. All of the videos, all of the articles, all of the photographs. That's why I take the time each and every day to put this information out there, because it needs to go viral worldwide while we have the opportunity with our internet, which is slowly being taken away. Your freedom of speech is being stomped into the ground. The freedom of information is being taken away. And if you think I'm some kind of a nutcase, well, guess what? I'm in that same bag of nuts with millions of other people. So I'm not the only one on this big planet that is seeing this, that is talking about it, that is wondering about it, that has suspicions about it. I am not the only one. And for people to step up that are completely uneducated in sciences, no academics behind them, they don't have the right to debunk anything. My best advice to them: dig a little hole next to that rock where you crawled out from. Get back in there. Pull that rock back over your head and stay there. Because if you come at us, the people in the truther community that really do want the research, that really do want the knowledge, we are going to step on you. We are going to step on you and put you back under that rock where you came from. Because it's people like you that claim that you are the ultimate truther when you are nothing more but a liar, and you are hurting humanity. And I take that very, very personal. I am very passionate at what I do. I have chosen this phase of my life to continue this work. And nobody will shut me up. Especially not some two-bit uneducated debunker that goes by the name of Daza the Cameraman. Give me a break. I will certainly not be silenced by a filthy puke Astronomy Live. And I will certainly not be harassed and condemned by other uneducated criminals. It's just not going to happen, folks. Some of you may not like my personality. I can be very brash and forward and upfront. But I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your rear end and feed you lies. I'm going to bring you the research, my investigations, my findings, and the same goes for Dr. Albers. We are going to show you what we are finding. That is what we're here for. So if you look up into the sky and you happen to take a few photographs or a series of photographs and they turn out looking like this, what the hell is that in the sky? Do you have the right to question what you just photographed? Absolutely. Do you have the right to send these photographs to people or groups or individuals that have been researching this for years? Absolutely. Why are you doing that? Because you want answers. We're trying to get them. And I'll tell you, folks, I think we've been pretty successful over the course of the last almost 2 years now of absolutely proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have somewhat of a stellar core, as Dr. Albers calls it, and I truly believe that she is pretty much on target with the description of what this object is. Again, this is another photograph that the man took in succession. Look at that. How in the hell can anybody stand there and say, "Oh, that's the real sun. Oh, you're crazy"? Does anybody else have a good explanation for what we're looking at? Probably not. You know, folks, some of the latest photographs that I've captured on the cactus coronagraph, December 15th, just a few days ago. Now, once again, my YouTube channel, I believe, has uncovered the most critical evidence in proving that this object we refer to as Planet X exists. It is there. The sun is accompanying this object as sort of like a partner now. This photograph I captured, luckily, once again, during a small coronal mass ejection. We've been monitoring this process since the beginning of June 2017. We've documented it every single month. We have formed a timeline. I'm able to pick this object up every single month. And I have. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and now December. So I think I have proven myself, my theories, and our research. I think that I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this object's there. It probably has a few little partners with it. Is it affecting our sun? You're damn right it is. Will it crash into the Earth? No, it will not. Does the planet Nibiru exist? I can't prove that. In all of my research over the course of the years, I researched Nibiru. I do not have any credible information that this planet Nibiru exists. But what I do know is there is a massive object out there orbiting our sun in approximately a 27 to 30 day orbit, very fast around our sun. It would have to be a stellar core for it to be that close to the sun, not explode. It's not a planet. There's a huge high possibility that this object is an old remnant of our galaxy. Not our solar system, our galaxy. It is powerful. It produces a massive magnetic field. It interacts with the sun. It is there, folks. It is there. People ask about a timeline. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no timeline. The fact of the matter is that each and every month that goes by, our theory is being proven that this object has now become part of our solar system. Mainstream science cannot handle it. Governments will not allow this information to come out in the mainstream media or mainstream science. Why? Because this blows the freaking lid off everything you've been taught for decades. And you know I'm right. We were first taught that there was a sun and 9 planets and some moons revolving around some of these planets. Then they got rid of Pluto. Now we have dwarf planets. Now we have exoplanets. Now Jupiter has what, 66, 67 moons. Oh, well, where did these objects come from? Oh, what, they just popped up one day? See, folks, they're spoon feeding you little bits, little drabs of information. Just like they do in the UFO community. They just released a bombshell the other day. Folks, it's time to really start thinking out of the box and understand that anything is possible. People joke about aliens landing on the lawn of the White House. Huh, well, guess what? It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. Is there alien life out there? You're damn right there is. Was everything created from one big bang? No, it wasn't. What produced the Big Bang? Something had to produce the Big Bang, so therefore something had to be there. It's like one of those statements based on infinity. The question goes on and on and on and on. And true scientists will tell you that they don't know everything about our Earth, our moon, our sun, the planets that we know of in our solar system. They will clearly tell you that we don't know everything. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, that puts the whole peer review process in the garbage. Because how can somebody stand over an abstract, an article, and some research and claim it's either credible or not credible? It deserves to be published or it doesn't deserve to be published. How can that process take place if you lack total knowledge? So therefore, if we don't know everything, how can we criticize others? How can we criticize that work, that research, those investigations? You can't. You need to sit back and shut up. The peer review process is a scam. It is corrupt. And the puppet masters in this world are corrupt. And they need to dig a hole right next to Dazza the cameraman and crawl in there with him. Maybe they could be little butt buddies. So in looking at this photograph taken from the cactus, so what do you think that is right there? I have captured this object numerous times it coincides directly with my timeline of its orbital process around the sun. So, okay, what do you think it is? Oh, is it a camera anomaly? Is it a lens flare? Is it a lens refraction, reflection? These are the only terms that these so-called uneducated debunkers really have. They don't have anything else, ladies and gentlemen, because they themselves know that the object exists. Their job is to make you believe that it doesn't. So, where do you think this object came from in this photograph? Do you think the sun just farted out a big massive sphere, probably 5 to 6, 7 times the size of Jupiter? You think it just farts this out once a month? I don't think so. The cactus coronagraph is inverted. It's in a grayscale. The time frames in the cactus, the time frames are very, very far apart. So whenever you're viewing the cactus, you may see this object in only 1 or 2 frames. Why? Because the frames of the photographs are so far apart in the timeline. That's why sometimes when you're reviewing this information in a video format, those still photographs are put together in order to make a video. Not my video, their video. Ladies and gentlemen, the same thing goes for the Solar Dynamics Observatory observations and the coronagraphs, SOHO, LASCO, the C2 and the C3. Those are time-stamped still photographs put together to form a video. So if an object is in one frame and not another frame, it's because of that reason. And the debunkers try to fool you by using that tactic. So wise up. Wise up. Understand the little bit of technology that NASA allows us to have. And we catch them all the time deleting hours and hours and hours and hours of data. For what reason? The reason is because we're going to see something that we're not supposed to see. Therefore, adding more credibility to what we are researching and what we are investigating. Boom! We have it figured out, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to publicize it more and more and more each and every day. If we let up now, they win. And if you want to be a loser, then quit today. We're not looking at camera anomalies. We're looking at facts. I've adjusted some filters in this recent find from the 15th of December. And that's what you're looking at right now. I proved to myself whether the object is there or not. So, a perfect sphere, massive in size, so massive that you, as the common man and woman, can't even fathom the size of this object, nor can you fathom how big the sun really is. We just can't even think in those terms of size and distance, because we don't know those sizes. We haven't experienced 1,000,000 miles, 93 million miles. No human being has ever traveled that distance. So therefore, you can't even fathom that size. We're going by what science has told us and made us to believe. Do you actually think that this object doesn't exist? Do you really think it doesn't exist? Do you really think that science knows everything? Do you really think that science is covering up a lot? For each and every one of you, that has lost a family member or a friend, or you yourself, you have cancer. You've lost a loved one to cancer. I want you to know the reason why they suffered and they died is because science will not allow the cure to be exposed and utilized because of money. Big pharma. It's disgusting. We're living in this disgusting matrix that has been created for mankind. We didn't ask for it. We don't deserve it. But we're living it. You know, folks, I go each and every day, and I try very, very hard to prove and to investigate and to research what is happening. There are others out there that I will leave nameless because they deserve to be nameless. But there's a few others out there, YouTube channels, that have a lot of you brainwashed into believing what they're showing you. Just absolutely ridiculous video presentations of basically nothing. But yet you all continue to support their efforts to scam you. My efforts are not to scam you. My efforts are to show you what is there, what I'm finding, and it sure as hell isn't a lens flare. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we need cold, hard facts and evidence. We don't need lens flare presentations. We need photographs like this. In your face, blow your freaking mind. I truly believe our planet is in serious jeopardy. Will the Earth ever be destroyed? Eventually, it probably will be. There are entirely too many variables within a solar system, within a galaxy, within the universe. Variables that we don't know about and we have absolutely no control over. So if you want to continue thinking with a small mind and not outside of the box, you're going to be clueless. So just lay down and roll over. If not, stand up and fight. Fight for the truth. Fight for the knowledge. Because we deserve the respect as human beings. The more and more that I delve into this peer review process, the more and more it really gets me pissed off. Because they've basically scammed us for a very, very, very long time. And they have probably, most definitely, silenced so many scientists and so many people with beautiful minds of high intelligence. And they silenced them for money. I take offense to it. I declare war on it. If we as a species want to survive, then we need to take our world back. Just like the saying goes, you need to take your streets back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to take our world back. God gave this world to us, as it is said. I don't think God ever planned for all of this to happen. But man is a species that has evolved in some of the worst ways possible. No more do we love each other. There's more hatred in this world than there is love. It's very sad. I was sitting back thinking about the life expectancy of a human being. What is it? 72, 73, 75 years old? Are you kidding me? The life expectancy of a very unique creature like man can only survive in this day and age 75 years or less? Ladies and gentlemen, we should be able to live well beyond the age of 100. But see, we would be overpopulated. As the New World Order would tell you, see, they want to depopulize the entire world. They don't want to be outnumbered. So therefore, they have decided to play God. And I'm just not going to stand for that shit. I believe in a supreme being. I believe in a higher spiritual power. People refer to that higher spiritual power as God, our Creator. But it seems that our Creator is not going to interfere. People say, God help us. God help us. See, ladies and gentlemen, God as the Creator is not going to come down and appear on your front lawn and help you. Because God gave us every freaking thing that we need to help ourselves. And if you sit back and you take this on the chin and you don't do anything about it, then you deserve to be cast away. For all of us out there that can stand on our own 2 feet, and we are physically and mentally able to take a stand, we need to do it right now, today. If we do not, we're doomed. We're doomed. Not only because of this object that is now, made its home in our inner solar system, not because of aliens and all this other crap. We're doomed because of what is being done to our human species. I believe that in this upcoming course of time, our planet's going to be, as they say, walking on eggshells, because there are a lot of disruptions occurring worldwide, folks. We see the influx of the earthquakes and the volcanoes and the weather systems, and there's a lot of unknown variables out there that we are continually trying to research and gather information on, and people are blocking us and people are stopping us. But they can't stop all of us. So that's where the unity of man and women come together. And you have to stand up and say, we are not going to take this anymore. It's a very big and bold statement. But ladies and gentlemen, if we don't, we're doomed. We're finished. I mean, for God's sakes, you see what they're doing with these robots. I mean, they have more sex robots out there now than anything. I mean, don't you think that robotics would be better suited for other forms of technology than to make a sex slave robot? I mean, let's be realistic here. What the hell are we becoming? We're living in a very weird world right now. Without coming together worldwide, we're doomed. We're doomed. Everything happening around us, whether it be related to Planet X, our sun, our Earth, our moon, other planets, war, politics, or government, we're doomed. Unless we stand up, band together, and we have a course of action. And that course of action needs to be our education process. What we are finding out needs to go worldwide, viral, around the world. Millions and millions and millions and millions of people need to talk about it every single day, and they need to publicize it as much as possible. That's my point. We cannot play their game any longer. We need to take control, or else we lose. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you viewing this live stream right now, I hope that you were able to take something away with you from the words that came from my mouth this morning. They truly come from my heart. They truly come from my beliefs. You form your own. I hope that things that I've said today have opened your eyes, they've opened your heart, they've opened your mind. We're coming to the point in time we need to take a stand, and that stand will be to take back our planet for as long as we can have it. God gave it to us. We need to maintain it. We need to take back the control that's been removed. Planet X exists. Chemtrails exist. A sun simulator or solar simulator, it exists. These things are real. Others that are uneducated will tell you that they don't. Take a real good close look at where that information's coming from and who these people really are. See, ladies and gentlemen, those people don't want you looking into their backgrounds. But we will. As they investigate us, we will investigate them. As they try to turn the tables on us, we will turn them over right on top of their heads. Time to take a stand, folks. We know what's happening. We need to share our information. We need to spread the information. We need to spread the word. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and Dr. Albers' channel. Make sure that you go back and you set those notifications. Check on those notifications. Come back to these YouTube channels at least once a day. Go to the website. Go to the Facebook page. Make sure you have up all of your sources of information are set. It doesn't take but a few seconds to click on the share button and share that information. It's very important. Very important. That's why we took the opportunity to write 2 books in a matter of months. And we're going to be coming out very, very soon with our new bi-weekly Planet X magazine. Because we need other forms of media to get out there, to reach people in other countries. And I'm proud to say, as of today, we are reaching people. A few weeks ago, it was 36 countries. Now, we've just had a little bit more of an outreach, and we've expanded now into 39 countries. So the trolling factions that think they're doing their job, you're failing. And we are winning. The power of knowledge is winning over you. This isn't about money. This isn't about YouTube views. This isn't about YouTube advertising. This is about the damn truth. And I will expose every bit of it till somebody steps up and they silence me. And the only way that you're going to shut me up is when you take my last breath. And you better be one bad son of a bitch to think you're going to step up and take my last breath. This is Scott from Planet X News. Thank you very much for joining me this very early morning. Take care, folks. Be safe and stay tuned.